Imagine crawling into a cave where your lost brother, now feral, bites your flesh, or meeting a charming stranger who morphs into your exact double, stealing your life. A starved sibling turned predator and a mimic wearing their identity. These gripping tales plunge you into nightmares where love and self are twisted into terror. Hello everyone, I'm Dusky Nights, and I bring you real-life horror stories that will help you fall asleep. But before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from, and what time is it right now? Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The cave swallowed my brother, Kieran, and spat out my peace. 3 years ago, the newspaper screamed his name. A 5-year-old swept into an underground creek, lost in a limestone labyrinth. Church folks murmured condolences. School kids I barely knew shot me pitying looks. But I didn't want their sorrow. I wanted answers. The thought of Kieran dying alone in the dark, his small voice echoing unanswered, clawed at me. They searched for 2 weeks, then quit, saying he drowned. But water was plentiful down there. Starvation takes longer. In my heart, he was still alive, trapped, waiting. Dad had to wrestle me away from the cave's mouth, his voice breaking as he said it was over. I was 16, a junior, and I didn't believe him. Kieran was a whirlwind, 11 years my junior, an oops baby with wild energy. At 4, he'd shattered an arm and leg, falling from a tree. He'd scaled like a squirrel. He was always climbing, leaping, laughing, a Tasmanian devil tearing through my room while I tried to study, tackling me with gleeful chaos. His probable ADHD drove me up the wall. I was too busy chasing girls and marching band to play Big Brother right. I loved him, but the age gap made it hard, and I wasn't kind enough. Therapy helped me forgive myself, taught me my irritation didn't mean I loved him less. But love doesn't stop nightmares, and mine were relentless. Kieran screaming my name in the cave's endless black, my hands grasping at shadows. At UT, I fell in with spelunkers, college kids who didn't know my history. I never told them about Kieran, couldn't voice the obsession driving me to learn their craft. Denial, my therapist called it. But I needed his body, bones, clothes, anything to silence the dreams. Freshman year, a drought shrank the creek that took him to a trickle, exposing tunnels once too treacherous to explore. The search teams had mapped every reachable inch 3 years ago, stopped by a water-filled passage too fast for divers. Now it might be clear. I didn't tell my parents, knowing they'd beg me to stop. I didn't tell my caving friends, fearing their logic. No body could survive. It's too dangerous. Alone, I drove to my childhood home, parked on a dirt road, and hiked through hickory and maple to the cave's mouth. The entrance was a low slit, 2 feet high, 3 wide, framed by memories of yellow tape and desperate search parties. Limestone caves riddled this part of the country, water carving them like veins. This one, a few hundred yards from our old house, wasn't deep, but its secrets were. I crawled in, mud smearing my knees, the weak stream barely wetting my boots. My headlamp cut through the dark as I followed the water. The cave's mapped paths burned into my mind. 100 feet in, the ceiling rose, letting me crouch walk. The air smelled of earth and rot, a salamander skittering through the silt. My pulse thundered. I was nearing the uncharted tunnel, the only place Kieran's body could be. The passage was a black oval, a foot tall, 2 feet wide, with an inch of water trickling down. Fear and grief knotted my throat, but I couldn't turn back. They'd say it was pointless, that his body was lost or buried. But I saw him in my dreams, alive, screaming. I drilled bolts into the limestone, secured my rope, and donned my harness. The slope was steep, a wet chute plunging into the unknown. I squeezed in, face near the water, head turned to breathe, repelling inch by inch. The rock hugged me, tighter with each foot, the sound of falling water echoing below. I'd heard of cavers trapped in shafts like this, like nutty putty, and the thought gnawed at me. Getting out would be hell. The tube narrowed, water splashing my face, soaking my clothes. My ATC scraped rock as I twisted onto my hip, the space barely wide enough for my chest. Panic wasn't the sharp fear of heights or darkness. It was a slow, crushing dread, each inch making escape harder, each breath shallower. The rock pressed my ribs, my helmet off to fit, and I vowed not to let this cave claim me too. Just as my will wavered, the tunnel widened, opening into a chamber. I nearly dropped my helmet but strapped it on, my light revealing a domed ceiling with stalactites. Below, a murky pool stretched, its depth unknown, rocks piling at the edges. I repelled into the water, sinking chest deep, the cold biting through my gear. Swimming was torture, one arm pulling, the other feeding rope. My soaked clothes dragging me down. 30 feet across, my boots hit silty mud, and I hauled myself onto a rock, gasping, nausea rising as adrenaline faded. The chamber was vast, water flowing deeper, other tunnels branching off like veins. Kieran's body, bones or scraps, would have followed the main current, but mapping every path felt impossible. 3 years had passed. What was left? I sat catching my breath, the waterfall's roar, a white noise. A pale fish darted in the pool, and for a moment I felt calm. Then a crack split the air. Pain exploded in my skull, my vision blacking out. Balance gone. My helmet saved me, but the impact left me reeling, concussion certain. I heard my own ragged breaths, the drip of water, and scrambled to stand, dizzy and disoriented. A rock had fallen, dislodged from a ledge above. My calf throbbed, a sharp, pulsing agony. I kicked reflexively, and my headlamp caught caught it. An emaciated boy, pale as bone, biting my leg. His blind eyes bulged in sunken sockets, bloody teeth tearing flesh, ribs jutting from a skeletal chest. He was ravenous, relentless, his arms thinner than my wrists. I screamed, grabbed his shoulder, and threw him off, his body light as air. He stood, my blood dripping from his mouth, and fled into the dark. "Kieran!" I roared, lurching after him, only to be yanked back by my rope. I fumbled the carabiner free, ignoring the fire in my leg, and chased the trail of black blood to a narrow tunnel. His tiny feet vanished around a bend, the crack too small for me to follow. "Kieran, it's Chris. It's me." Sobs choked me as I yelled, "Mom and Dad miss you. I miss you." Why hadn't I grabbed him, held him, told him I loved him? I rattled a granola bar wrapper, screaming about food, home, anything to lure him back until I collapsed, voice raw on the wet rock. 3 years in this abyss. What had they done to him? At 5, he was fearless. Now, nearly 8, was he feral, insane, forgetting his own name? My blood pooled, staining the water dark. I was bleeding out, the climb back impossible without stopping it. I wrapped my leg, tightening the knot until I screamed, but it wasn't enough. I left the granola bar and a spare headlamp set to low by the crack, yelling, "I'll be back, Kieran." The swim and climb were a blur of pain, my body screaming to quit. But I didn't. For me. For him. At the cave's mouth, I collapsed, sunlight jarring me awake. I called Mom, voice shaking. "I'm at the cave. I'm hurt. I found Kieran." The hospital was a haze of antiseptic and questions. My legs scarred forever, tissue gone, but I'll walk. Doctors confirmed the bites were human, likely a child's, the only proof Kieran was alive. My story, impossible but undeniable, spurred a new search. Rescue teams went down, but the tunnels were too tight, built for a starved boy, not adults. They found no trace, but food left by the crack vanished overnight. My parents are broken. Dad's hysterics, Mom's silence. They wanted to go down, to call him, but they'd never make the climb. I barely did. The cave's a living thing, hiding him in its depths. We leave food, praying the coming rain doesn't flood it, doesn't take him again. I never gave up on Kieran, and I won't now, but the dreams have changed. He's not screaming anymore, he's watching, blind eyes glinting, blood on his teeth. I see him in the hospital mirrors, in the shadows of my dorm. Was it him, or something wearing his skin? 3 years alone. What's left of a boy who eats flesh to survive? I told the teams where to look, but they're too big, too slow. I'm healing, but the scar's a reminder. I have to go back. I haven't told my parents I'm planning it. They'd lock me away, call it suicide. My caving friends don't know. They'd say it's madness, that no one survives that long. But I hear him at night, not in dreams, but in the dark, a whisper through the dorm's vents. Chris, come back. The cave knows I'm coming. Its tunnels waiting like veins ready to bleed. I've studied the maps, the drought's end, the water's rise. I'll go alone again, smarter this time, with better gear, a smaller frame to fit the cracks. I'll find him, his bones, his body, or whatever he's become. The hunger I saw in him haunts me, not just for food, but for something deeper, something the cave fed. What if he's not alone down there? What if the cave kept him alive for a reason, changed him into something that doesn't belong in the sun? I've started noticing things, my food disappearing, small bites taken, like he's already here, watching. My dorm window's been unlocked twice, no sign of entry, but I feel eyes in the dark. I've bought a knife, not for the cave, but for the nights I wake with his breath on my neck. I'm not sure what I'll find. Kieran, my brother, the boy I failed, or a thing that knows my name, but not my love. The cave's a mouth, and I'm walking into it, knowing it might not let me out. But I need closure, not condolences. If he's alive, I'll bring him home. If he's gone, I'll carry his bones to the light. And if he's something else, I'll face it, because I owe him that much. The cave took him, but it won't take me. Not without a fight. I'm begging you strangers online, my last hope. If you meet me, kill me. If you see me on the street, in a bar, on a dating app, end it. My name is Stella Kobe, but the thing wearing my face isn't me. My friends think I'm nuts. My family's ready to lock me up. But I'm not crazy. Something stole my life, my identity, and it's walking around as me. I need it gone. Painful, if possible, though I know that's a lot to ask. Murder's a heavy burden, but I can't live like this, trapped in my apartment, watching a monster live my life. Please, hear me out. Maybe you'll believe me. Maybe you felt this too. It started 2 months ago at Maisha's, a dive bar where my friends and I hit karaoke every Friday. Free nachos with a drink, a routine since Melly found the place a year ago. It was around 10 p.m., Jonas fresh off his hospital shift, when Melly and I stumbled off stage after a sloppy Rhiannon. Giggling, we headed to our booth when he stopped us. He said his name was Tony, short for Antonio. New to the city from somewhere like Idaho. He liked my voice, wanted to chat. Dark hair, green eyes, stubble. He was my type. He smelled like Tide and something warm, like my old friend Isdra's house. It felt safe, so I followed him to a booth near my friends, and we talked till closing. Our first date was perfect. Dinner at a fancy French place an hour away. Wine, a singer crooning La Vie en Rose. Then a movie, Hard Eyes. He loved it. I didn't, but his charm made it fun. He was romantic, easy to like. The first warning didn't seem like one. Hindsight's cruel. Walking through a street fair, he asked if I ever went by Ella or Stell. Nope, just Stella, I said, sipping soda. Always Stella. He pressed. Never a nickname. Even as a kid, I shook my head. It felt like small talk, but his eyes lingered, sharp, like he was studying me. Then he dropped Tony, insisting on Antonio. Tony's too casual, he said. Antonio's me. I laughed it off, but something shifted. The changes came fast, an avalanche I couldn't stop. His hair, once dark, turned light brown, like mine. His green eyes, I'd swear on my life they were green, became dark brown, mirroring mine. His broad shoulders shrank, his frame slimming overnight. His face softened, angles fading, and he lost 3 inches, matching my height. It wasn't just his looks. He stole my jokes, my phrases, things only I'd say. That's such a Stella thing, my friends would laugh, thinking it cute, like couples syncing up. But it wasn't mutual. He took my style, ditching jeans and Vans for thrifted boots and band tees. He got glasses he didn't need, went vegetarian, copied my every quirk. I tried to tell people, he used to be Tony, I'd say. His eyes were green. They looked at me like I was losing it. He's always been Antonio, they'd insist. His eyes, brown, Stella. Maybe the bar's lighting. Photos showed the truth. His old height, his old face. But no one saw it. It was like I was screaming into a void. My anger boiled, but fear crept in. 2 weeks ago, it got worse. He became me. Not just like me. Me. My face, my curly brown hair, my glasses, my voice. I saw him at Maisha's, and my heart stopped. It was like staring into a mirror, but wrong. Alive, stealing my life. My friends didn't blink. You don't look alike, they said. Same name. Just a coincidence. He's taken everything. He picks up my meds, goes to my Pilates class, sees my esthetician, hangs with my family. They act like he's always been Stella Kobe. I'm trapped in my apartment, too scared to leave while this thing lives as me. It's not human. It can't be. How do you morph like that? Steal a person's essence? I haven't left in over a week, and I won't until it's gone. If you meet Stella Kobe, 5'5", short curly brown hair, brown eyes, red-framed glasses, skull tattoo on her right wrist, scar on her right arm from a childhood horse fall, kill her. That's not me. I'm here, hiding, while it walks free. I'm Stella, 156 pounds, rock music junkie, Blondie's my jam. Action movie fan, allergic to cinnamon. You might see it in a grocery store, a thrift shop, on Bumble, or Hinge. It's charming, disarming, but don't fall for it. I don't know how it chooses victims, but it's good at it. Avoid it if you can, but killing, it's safer. End this nightmare before it takes someone else. I've tried everything, showing photos, begging friends, confronting it. Nothing works. It's like I'm the only one who sees the truth, and it's driving me to the edge. The first time I saw it as me, I nearly collapsed. It was at Maisha's, sitting in my usual booth, laughing with Melly and Jonas. I stood frozen, watching myself. My face, my gestures, chat like nothing was wrong. I yelled, "That's not me," but they just stared, confused. "Stella, you okay?" Jonas asked, while the thing smirked, my smirk like it knew I was powerless. I ran home, locked the door, and haven't gone back. My phone's full of texts from friends asking why I'm distant, but they're talking to it, not me. It answers as me, knows my life too well. I've checked my accounts, bank, socials, email. It hasn't touched them like it doesn't need to. It's not after money, it's after me, my existence. My family invited it to dinner last week, thinking it was me. Mom called, saying I seemed off. But when I tried explaining, she sighed. "Stella, you need help." I hung up, crying, knowing they'd never believe me. I've stopped answering calls. The thing's too good, blending in, fooling everyone. I'm alone, watching my life unravel from behind locked doors. It started small, but the signs were there. That talk about nicknames wasn't casual. It was probing, testing how much of me it could take. When it became Antonio, it wasn't just a name change, it was a step toward erasing Tony, toward becoming something else. The physical changes, hair, eyes, height, happened so fast I questioned my own memory. But I know what I saw. I've got photos, early ones from our dates, showing a taller, green-eyed Tony. I keep them hidden, proof I'm not insane. But they're useless if no one else sees the truth. I've thought about confronting it again, but last time it laughed, my laugh, and said, "You're not special, Stella." Its voice was mine, but colder, like it knew it had won. I ran, heart pounding, feeling like I was losing myself. Now, I stay inside, curtains drawn, jumping at every noise. I hear my own voice outside sometimes, humming Blondie or my laugh, echoing from the street. It's taunting me, showing me it's everywhere I used to be. What is it? A doppelganger? A demon? Something that feeds on identity? I've scoured the internet, found stories of mimics, things that steal lives, but nothing matches this. It's not just copying, it's replacing, erasing me. I don't know why it chose me if I did something to draw it in. Was it that night at Meech's, when I felt safe in its familiarity? Did I invite it by talking, by letting it close? I replay every moment, searching for a mistake. But it's useless. It's here, and it's me now. I've considered ending it myself, but I'm too scared, not of death, but of what happens if I die, and it keeps going, living as Stella, forever. If I'm gone, no one will know the truth. That's why I need you. If you see it, me, but not me, don't hesitate. A knife, a gun, anything. Make it hurt. Make it pay for stealing my life. I'd do it myself if I could face it. But it's too strong, too much like me. I'm fading, my voice drowned out by its perfect mimicry. I keep a journal now, writing every detail, hoping it'll anchor me to reality. My apartment's a mess, dishes piled, trash overflowing, because I can't focus on anything but survival. I've taped the windows shut, bolted the door, but I know it could get in. It knows where I live, my habits, my fears. Last night, I found a thrift store receipt on my table for boots I didn't buy. It's been here, leaving traces, mocking me. I burned it, but the smell of ash made me gag, reminding me of its presence. My friends are slipping away. Melly texted saying I was amazing at karaoke last night, but I was here, alone. Jonas invited me to a movie, not knowing he's with a fake. My family's next. Mom's already distant, buying its act. It's winning, and I'm running out of time. I've thought about leaving town, but where would I go? It'd find me, or worse, it'd stay, and I'd lose everything. My life's not perfect, but it's mine, and this thing's tearing it apart. I don't sleep much. When I do, I dream of it, wearing my face, living my days, while I'm trapped in a void, voiceless. I wake gasping, checking my reflection, terrified I'll see it instead of me. My wrist tattoo, my scar, they're still mine, but for how long? Will it carve them onto itself, complete the theft? I've stopped looking in mirrors, afraid of what I'll see. The scar from that horse fall, the skull inked for my punk phase, they're my proof, my tether, but they feel fragile, like it could steal them too. If you're reading this, you're my lifeline. I'm Stella Kobe, but the Stella out there isn't me. Check the details. 5'5", curly brown hair, red glasses, tattoo, scar. If you meet her, test her. Ask about Blondie, action movies, cinnamon. The real me's allergic, loves Die Hard, worships Debbie Harry. The fake might slip, but it's clever, so don't trust it. Kill it before it charms you, before it takes you too. I don't know how it works, if it'll jump to someone else, but I can't let it keep my life. I'm sorry to ask this, to drag you into my hell. I've got no one else. My apartment's my cage, and I'm starving, scared, losing myself. If you see me, don't talk, don't smile, just act. Make it quick, if you can't make it hurt. I want it gone. I want my life back, but I'm too weak to fight it alone. Please, if you meet Stella Kobe, kill her. Save me. Got a bone-chilling horror story that keeps you up at night, like a cave hiding a feral brother or a mimic stealing your identity. I'm hunting for the scariest tales to feature in my next collection. Send your spine-tingling narrative to duskynights145@gmail.com, and let's share your terror with the world. Don't wait. The shadows are closing in.